Okay. Hey everybody, Peter Sciretta here with
Germain from Slash Film.
and we are here on the Fox lot. We just got done seeing The Wolverine, starring Hugh Jackman.
Directed by James Mangold,
Yes.
who, your Girl Interrupted, Walk the Line, 3:10 to Yuma. It's his first superhero movie. And it's a movie, after a summer of superheroes that it was like almost the afterthought. Man of Steel,
Yeah.
Iron Man. Oh, what about that Wolverine movie? And it's really the first movie of Fox's new sort of thing, right? So what's going to happen?
Well, first of all, I want to say that this is going to be a brief reaction. We're not going to really delve into spoilers at all. So if you've seen the trailers, you're fine. You can watch this.
Yes. I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised by the Wolverine. I think it is not what you're expecting. It's a very almost small superhero movie.
Yeah.
It's very, very character-driven, very character-driven. 2 hours long.
If you were excited by the prospect of Darren Aronofsky doing the Wolverine when he was attached to it, you can see in this finished film why he wanted to do it. It's very character-driven.
Yeah, I think, like I said, 2 hours long, it felt long. And not like a bad long, but there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of character development, and then really, really makes you anticipate the action. And the action, when it does hit, it's probably only 4 or 5 set pieces, is really good. But I felt myself in the middle being like, let's get this along. And I think that just might be that we're in a summer of craziness.
Yeah, I know. It is more subdued film. I don't feel like I was waiting for it to get over or anything. I loved the film. It was so unexpected. I had been on the set and I read all the stuff on the site, and even then there was a lot of surprises.
A lot of surprises. You're going to see a lot of stuff. I was surprised at how much stuff is in this movie that's never happened in an X-Men or Wolverine movie. And it's very exciting.
When the action happens, which you're right, there is only there's a lot in between the action segments, but when the action happens, it's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome. The final scene is great. The bullet train sequence, I think I said this when I first saw it.
The bullet train sequence is amazing.
It's great. It's short and it's early in the movie. That's an early action scene in this movie.
Yeah.
There's and you don't really know where people's alliances lie in this movie. Every character is sort of a mystery. You don't know exactly why things are happening, and it's nice to sort of discover that over the course of the movie. And that's really what it's about.
Yeah, and the film obviously dealing with Wolverine's immortality, and obviously they're introducing some kind of kryptonite element, which has been done in every other superhero movie, but I feel like it was just done better in this film. This is the film that, for me, it wasn't a cheesy, thing. It really meant something, and it was really thematic, and it really
I think the thing was they wanted you to feel like Wolverine, right? So Wolverine's a character, from the comics who can't really be hurt. He always heals. He's a character who is immortal because of that. So what does that mean to a person, and what happens if that would sort of become in question? And that's really what the movie's about. And there's even there's a lot of girls in the movie. We'll say that,
His relationship with Yukio. Is Yukio?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Awesome. There's just some great comic chemistry between them, and I think everybody will enjoy that.
Yeah, there's even there's some romance. There's allusions to other things. If you've seen the posters, that's pretty obvious.
You know what? This feels like I know I said this with Iron Man 3, which I felt like a comic book arc of while you're reading the comics. It didn't feel. It didn't feel like a comic book movie. It felt like I was reading a comic book. This felt like I was reading a graphic novel of, the Wolverine Japanese saga. It really, in all the good and bad of that, it felt like nothing like any of the X-Men movies we have seen before.
No. I agree with that. I think
and if you saw the first Wolverine...
This is not even close. Basically, the best part about that is that now Mangold doesn't have to tell an origin story. We know how he became Weapon X. We know why he's adamantium. We know all that.
Yeah.
This movie really plays with time. It takes place, some of it's in the 40s, some of it's in the present. We don't actually know exactly.
And there's just so many moments of subtlety and situations thematically it's not as obvious as Brett Ratner X3.
No, it's not as obvious. Like I said, my main thing is
and it isn't R-rated. It's PG-13. But there is a lot of violence. The blood isn't shown.
There's not a lot of blood early, but it's almost like he saved any kind of blood he could use for later in the movie when it really has an impact. There's some really, really tense action scenes toward the end, and I think the last 30 minutes is pretty much nonstop. It's like action beat, action beat, action beat, and after all that character stuff, that really it really pays off. Like I said, I thought it felt a little long, a little slow for my tastes, but I was very pleasantly surprised with the film. And stay for the credits. People walked out in my screening, and I couldn't believe people were walking out. I'm like, come on, it's a Marvel movie. Stay for the credits, and be happy.
I mean, the only thing I'm going to say is I'm not sure this outdoes Iron Man 3, but I didn't think it would, and it at least came close, if not surpassed.
I don't know. I don't know. It's always hard, right, when you walk out of a movie to say where exactly it is. But I'm saying people who were not looking forward to this movie are going to find things to like in this movie. Yeah. It is a great Wolverine story. You get to spend a lot of time with this character. If you watch an X-Men movie and you're like, I want more Wolverine, you get more Wolverine. You get more of the badass. You get more of the soft side. You get more
of the brooding. You get more of everything. I mean, this movie will hopefully make you forget that the first film ever happened.
I think that was the point. All right, so
you can find more of both of our work at /film.com, me on Twitter at /film.
At Germain Lussier, and you'll read more about the Wolverine soon.